Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to use the completing the square method with quadratics. So what I need to do is I am going to just focus firstly on the first two terms of my quadratic expression, and I'm going to look at the coefficient of x. The coefficient is the number that is in front of the x. So when I complete the square, the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to have x, and then open bracket, sorry, and then x, and then with this coefficient of x, which is the 8, I'm going to half it. So half of 8 is 4. I'm then going to close my brackets and square it. Now if I was to do that, I would get x plus 4, which would expand to get x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16, which would then simplify to get me x squared plus 8x plus 16. We just want x squared plus 8x, so to get rid of this plus 16, I need to take away 16. So I would have minus 16 here. So this blue part that I have underlined here is represented by this, as I've shown you here. This is not part of completing the square. This is just me explaining to you how I got that and ended up with that minus 16. I need to remember that I have also got that plus 7 on the end, and therefore I will need to add that on. So now what I need to do is to simplify this and tidy it up a little bit. The brackets stay the same, so that stays as x plus 4 all squared, and then I do minus 16 plus 7, which gets me negative 9. So what I can say is this expression, this quadratic expression here, is exactly the same as this, and if I was to expand this all, I would end up with that. So my next one is x squared minus 10x plus 3. I need to complete the square on this. So looking at these first two terms, opening the bracket, x. Now here my coefficient is negative 10. Half of negative 10 is negative 5. Close my bracket and square. What I now need to do is I'm going to subtract this number squared. So minus 5 squared is positive 25. So I need to subtract 25. If I was to write this all out and do it all over here like I did above, I would get x squared minus 10x. If you want to try it out, give it a go. I then need to remember that I have got my plus 3 on the end. So I need to add 3, and now to simplify and just tidy it up, x minus 5 all squared minus 22. And that's as simple as completing the square is. So here's another example. X squared minus 6x minus 8. So open my brackets. X, half of my coefficient of x is minus 3. Close my brackets and squared. I'm now going to subtract this number squared. So 3 squared is 9, so minus 9, and not forgetting the minus 8 at the end. And tidying it up, I get x minus 3 all squared minus 17. Now a question you may have is, do I always take it away, whether it's negative or positive? You should always end up with positive value, which means you will always take it away. So whatever this number is squared, whether it was the positive value of 4, which we squared to get 16 and then we took that away, or whether you've got the negative 3, that squared is 9, which is positive, we always subtract it. So just remember, we always subtract whatever this number is squared. A couple of slightly trickier examples for you. I'm going to do x squared plus 3x minus plus 2. So here you will notice that the coefficient of x is odd this time. So what I need to do is exactly the same process as what I have already started with. So x inside my brackets, half of 3. Now this is something that I feel quite strongly about, and I would like you to keep it as a fraction. Half of 3, I'm just doing 3 divided by 2. So I'm going to have that as my starting point. I always just divide this value by 2, so I'm just going to leave it as a fraction, 3 over 2. I'm not going to convert it to a decimal. I now need to subtract this number squared. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write that. As you can see, that is this number squared. I've also got to remember to add the 2 on at the end. So what do I have? I've got x plus 3 over 2 all squared minus 3 over 2 squared. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's really tricky, I'm not too sure how to do that. Remember, when you multiply a fraction, I've got 3 over 2 multiplied by 3 over 2. Multiply the tops, 3 times 3 is 9. Multiply the bottoms, should call them numerator and denominator, sorry. Multiply those, I get 4. So basically, to square a fraction, all you do is square the numerator to get the numerator value, and then square the denominator. So I get 9 over 4. Now, if this was on a non-calculator paper, which it could very well be on, I need to know how to do 9 over 4 plus 2 nice and easily. What I would do is I would convert 2 into a fraction over the denominator of 4. So to do that easily, I'm going to do 4 multiplied by 2, which gets me 8, and put that over my denominator. I know that 8 over 4 simplifies to 4 over 2, which simplifies to 2. Just again explaining to you on the side how I've got that. And finally, just to simplify this, x plus 3 over 2 all squared minus 9 over 4 plus 8 over 4 leaves me with minus 1 over 4. Final example for this video then is x squared minus 7x minus 4. So I'm going to end up with, open brackets, x minus 7 over 2, because I need to half this coefficient, close my brackets and squared. And now what I'm going to do is to subtract this number squared, which is going to be 49 over 4. I need to remember to include my minus 4 here. So I get x minus 7 over 2 all squared minus 49 over 4 minus 16 over 4. And then to just finish it off, I end up with x minus 7 over 2 all squared minus 65 over 4. So those are just a few examples of completing the square. Fairly simple ones, to be honest, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video which does have examples where we have got coefficients of x squared. So you might see a 2 here, you might see a negative in front of the x squared, so that video will help you with those slightly trickier examples.